hot coffee. Hello there. Didn't hear you come in. Did my wife let you in? I guess it's time for another Corran in the Mornin. A few weeks ago, I told you about my origins with the game while it was in print. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my time playing during the early days of the PC. In the late days of the game, every so often, I'd look on Decipher's website to see what was coming out. A combination of not having anyone to play with and not having any way to buy cards meant that most of the time, my actual playing was alone in my room with two barely functional decks going up against each other. Then a few things happened. Decipher lost the license, and product became incredibly affordable. Plus, I got to a point where I had a very small amount of spending money from birthdays, Christmas, and odd jobs taken from the neighbors. I want to emphasize this totaled about $30 per month, but it was something. Lastly, there was eBay. My friends had told me about eBay during the days of Pokemon, and we'd regularly log on to see the price of Charizard or whatever, but I don't think I'd ever actually bought anything. Then one day, I searched Star Wars CCG and found out how cheap product had become. I reached out to my best friend Nick, and we decided to split a box of black bordered Premier that was $10 with free shipping. Over the next few months, we recruited Nathan Cope, Joe Kramer, Danny Payton, Bryce Sullivan, Ryan Brown, and my little sister Susie to form what we jokingly called the Star Wars CCG Losers Committee. Product was cheap and none of us had huge collections, so we organized a string of booster draft tournaments. Even then, when I knew nothing, I knew booster draft was more fun than sealed. Growing up, my parents drank Diet Pepsi and regular Mountain Dew, and they drank a lot of it. That said, at some point my dad got tired of all the warsies, that's how the Losers Committee referred to ourselves, drinking all of my mom's Mountain Dew. This led to what in my mind will eternally be linked to Star Wars CCG. 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew and giant bags of Ruffles potato chips for our tournaments. It doesn't seem like much, but every time I try to recreate my glory days, that pairing is my nostalgic snack of choice. The others tried to keep up, but Nick and I dove deeper than the rest into the game. I got an early good deal on a Reflections 2 box, $35, which helped me give my collection a shot in the arm. And I was able to trade with players on Game Players Network to get some of the cards from later set whose boxes were closer to MSRP. There was even a player in Auckland, New Zealand that I sent cards to. I was about 15 at the time, and this was the early 2000s when the internet was scary. So my parents made me have players send cards to my dad's work. Also, I've always had bad handwriting, and my mom would always check the envelopes to make sure they were legible before I put them in the mail. The only officially sanctioned tournament I played in during this era was the 2004 DPC at Origins Game Fair. Nick, Joe, and I all went. Nick actually did pretty well, finishing 3-3. That would be a good finish for me today. Joe didn't do so well, and neither did I. Highlights of the event included meeting the famous Brian Hunter. My tournament report from back then also mentions an Aaron and a Micah, who were very nice. I also met someone there who I swear was Dan Tartaglione, but he claims he was in the military at the time. My favorite memory of that event was me being a dork. I was watching Nick play his game 5, and I was the guy watching who wouldn't shut up. This was back when Civil Disorder V was insane. It non-retrieval retrieved the topmost character into hand and activated a force upon initiating battle. Nick initiated battle, and I pointed to Civil Disorder V, reminding him of the trigger. This led to a series of events that caused his opponents to rage quit, storming off, leaving his cards. My bad. I don't remember a firm endpoint to this era, but it was likely related to being in high school and focusing on other things. The last archived tournament report I could find was from November of 2004, so that would have been my junior year. The better part of a decade later, I got back into the game, and Joe sold me his collection, Nick gifted me his. In 2015, Nick was the best man at my wedding. That's all I've got for you today. Make sure you check out my interview with Tom Struther, aka Gimp Tom, available at kendallcast.ninja, and keep an eye out for an article this week as well.